Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here with us for our second annual Delta Alpha Pi Honor Society induction ceremony. We are so happy. Before we get started though, I would like to give you some housekeeping, Zoom housekeeping points that I want to let you know. So we have live captioning. Our live captionist hasn't gone on yet. One second, let me just check on that.
Nope, our live captionist is on and functioning. If you'd like to turn on your caption, you can do so by selecting the closed captions button in the Zoom meeting controls, which typically appear at the bottom of your Zoom screen. There will be a closed captions button. Click on that and select show subtitle. You can adjust the display by using the subtitle settings button. And if you're joining us from a mobile device, you can add those captions by clicking on settings, then meeting, and toggling the captions on. I'll turn it back over to Camille for the rest of the housekeeping.
So for interpreters, you can pen
Camille, you're on mute.
I'm so sorry. And so for the interpreters, you can pen to your display by clicking on their video or next to their name and select pen. On a mobile device, double tap their video in the gallery view. A couple other things. You may also use the chat function or feature if you need to have any questions or comments. And we have Aaron and Donna Graziano who will be monitoring our chat function as well. And anyone who's speaking, what we would probably do is mute people. We might want to mute folks. And then if you're going to speak, we will ask you to unmute. So I'm going to mute for now. And then I'm going to take it over. Our director, Andrew Wilcox, will welcome all of you.
Hello, everyone. So I want to welcome everyone to the second inauguration ceremony for the Zeta Epsilon chapter of Delta Alpha Pi. I am Andrew Wilcox. I'm the director of the Academic Success Center, and I get to be fortunate enough to welcome our second class of inductees, as well as members of our campus community, to this momentous event. The founding of our chapter of this honor society had its roots in a long-standing desire to acknowledge our students who learn differently. As a person with my own disabilities who worked hard to find academic success, I want to acknowledge our college's students who strove to find new ways to learn, new strategies to overcome their challenges, and the grit to see it through all the way to achieve academic excellence. When I was a college student, I had a group of students, an LD posse, if you will, and it was a huge help to be around others who experienced similar academic challenges and worked hard for their academic achievements. I wanted that for our students as well, a peer group of diverse learners and hard workers like those being inducted today. The question remained in my mind for a long time: how do we uphold confidentiality and our students' right to privacy while celebrating student diversity of learning and the grit needed to achieve academic success? I see now that Delta Alpha Pi is one of the answers to that question. A few years ago, we brought together a new team in the ASC to oversee the center's disability and accessibility services. This gave us new opportunities. I'm happy to say that the DAS team with Aaron, Camille, Haley, Donna, Megan, and Stephanie, through the implementation of AIM and a myriad other upgrades, overhauls, and new initiatives, have made quantum leaps when it comes to our services and our privacy for our students with disabilities. I also am appreciative that my request to explore the possibility of creating a chapter of Delta Alpha Pi on our campus has reached such fruition to the point that we are today celebrating in and swearing in the Honor Society's officers and the second inaugural class. I want to welcome you all and express my appreciation to all the ASC, all those on the ASC and on campus that made this event possible. The dedication of our chapter advisor, Camille Elliott, and for all of those who attend today to celebrate our second class of inductees. And I leave our inductees with this challenge. Please consider the Delta Alpha Pi charge to challenge stereotypes and to create a welcome environment for all learners. I invite you to consider what you can do as a student and as a future alumnus to contribute to this charge. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Andrew, for those kind words and wonderful words and inspiring words at that. I am Camille Elliott, and I'm honored to be the chapter advisor of this student-driven organization of extraordinary individuals who have committed themselves by taking personal pride in their academics and making a difference in their communities. We have today, we are gathered to celebrate 38 exemplary learners and induct them into the Honor Society. There are other inductees who could not be here today. However, by the time this season is over, we'll have 48 members who will be inducted to join our inaugural cohort that was 36 students that we inducted last year. And at that time, our chapter, the Zeta Epsilon chapter, will have a total of 84 members in just 2 years. That to me is amazing. And as Andrew mentioned earlier in his remarks, we're also going to induct our inaugural officers today who will lead this organization and ensure the Honor Society has a visible presence on campus. So to the inductees, we are proud of your hard work and the sacrifices that you brought each of you here today. Even with the challenges you may have experienced as a student with a disability, your persistence to achieve academic excellence is no small feat. Not only are you a high achiever academically, but your leadership and your advocacy efforts will also, that you use, will also help educate our campus community and the larger society to understand all aspects of diversity. So in the words of Dr. Edith Miller, who is actually the founder of the Delta Alpha Pi Honor Society, she says, we must be vigilant in breaking down the myth that students with disabilities cannot be successful. In fact, according to a lot of research that's out there, the graduation rate of college students with disabilities and those on the dean's list is much higher than the general population. We must keep our eyes open to the successful aspects of these students. So now what I would like to do is just to give you a brief opportunity to introduce you to Delta Alpha Pi and give you a little bit of history about it. It was founded in 2004 in East Stroudsburg University. And in addition to recognizing academic achievement, Delta Alpha Pi seeks to lessen and eventually eliminate the stigma and the negative stereotyping that has been associated historically with disability. Students who become members of this honor society identify themselves as students with a disability. By their open acknowledgement of their disability status, they actually serve as role models for other students with disabilities, and they advance the goals of the Honor Society on our campus and in their home communities. The Honor Society provides opportunities for members to develop and enhance their leadership, advocacy, and education skills in terms of working and addressing issues related to disabilities. The Greek letters Delta, Alpha, Pi were selected for specific reasons, and they carry meaning. As part of the meaning, D is for disability, is a symbol of strength. And the members of our honor society will demonstrate that strength as leaders on campus to help break down the negativism. They will also, as I mentioned earlier, serve as role models to other students with disabilities and to this community. Alpha, the A stands for achievement. And as you know, Alpha is the beginning, and academic achievement must always come first. But we also have to include advocacy because students must advocate for themselves. And as members of this organization, they will enhance those advocacy skills for themselves and for the rights of all individuals with disabilities. Pi, or the P, is for pride. Pride in academic achievement and in other accomplishments, not just as students with disabilities, but as a member of a larger community. Pi is the mathematical symbol that we learned in elementary school. So Pi is an appropriate symbol for education. And as members of this honor society, they will participate in activities and even design activities to educate the community and society regarding the need to apply inclusive practices in all learning communities or learning environments. So the students who are being initiated today have met the following criteria. As we mentioned, they presented with a documented disability, and they're working with the professional staff members in our office. They demonstrated interest in addressing disability-related issues. As undergraduate students, they completed at least 24 credit hours, and they've earned a grade point average of a 3.1. As graduate students, they completed 18 credit hours and have earned a GPA average of a 3.30. Now that you have an understanding of our honor society and its values and principles, the president of our organization is going to introduce you to our keynote speaker, Kellynet Gomez. As a graduate of our social work program who had exemplified these distinguished values with her voice and deeds, our dynamic speaker will introduce her experiences and her journey of success. So Teresa Clark, president, will introduce Kellynet to our audience.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce Kellynet Gomez. She, her, and hers pronouns is licensed clinical social worker residing in Stoneham, Massachusetts. Currently, she works as a vocational rehabilitation counselor at the Massachusetts Rehabilitation Commission, MRC, and as a clinical therapist serving the Metro North deaf community. She identifies as a deaf Latino woman. She is committed to increasing accessible resources and employment opportunities for the deaf and blind, and hard of hearing community. As part of her initiatives, she founded the Deaf and Hard of Hearing Job Seeker Facebook, which now has over 7,000 members. Additionally, Kellynet has served and participated in various local and national organizations as a community liaison, peer advocate, volunteer, ASL consultant, and resource guru. In 2018, Kellynet received her master's degree in social work from Springfield College School of Social Work. She also had the pleasure of serving students and Springfield community members at the Community Involvement and Program Liaison for the Division of Inclusion and Community Engagement under the direction of Dr. Calvin Hill before pursuing other career avenues. Please welcome Kellynet back to Springfield College.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Teresa, for those wonderful remarks, that wonderful introduction. I am honored to be here today for this induction ceremony. So we're talking about disability, achievement, and pride, which are your core honors. So for me, I identify as a deaf individual. My disability defines me, and I wouldn't change that. For me, being born deaf, what would be also termed a hearing loss, is not a loss, not for me. For me, it's actually considered a gain. For me, it's a significant part of who I am as a person. It's part of my identity. And that's something that I cherish. And that's because being deaf just touches so many aspects of my life. It's the reason that I get to be part of a rich and multidimensional and vibrant culture and language. You might be familiar with that saying, don't let disability define you. For one thing, that is an often used cliche that can be harmful to us. And sometimes that statement, it's an erasure to us. It diminishes our part of the world. It's something that is to say that we shouldn't have our disability be part of our identity, even though it is. Maybe that's not intentionally meant by those people when they say it, but it is part of what that saying means. And I'm sure many of you people who are here today don't feel that way. This is an interesting fact. Worldwide, 15% of the population has a disability. That equates to 1 billion people. So having a disability is part of the human experience. Now I have a little bit of a personal story to share. I have a master's degree and I've gone through my journey of different levels of reaching education, elementary school all the way through graduate school. And oftentimes I needed access. I needed accommodations in order to be successful in this journey, which meant I encountered a lot of frustrating things. A lot of times I was put in the back of a classroom. I would request an interpreter and be denied that. I would attend my own IEP meetings. I would try to advocate for myself and fight for what I needed. And it wasn't until I was entering high school, so I was finishing up 8th grade, that I had to fight. I had to really fight to get my needs met. My mom and I both decided that we were going to reject my current IEP, meaning I didn't want that current placement. I was at my local public high school, and that's not what we wanted. I wanted to go to a different high school that had a deaf program. After multiple meetings and a lot of discussion, they finally decided to approve what I wanted. But the cost of that was that it was an hour away. But I was determined that that was what I wanted. I fought for that. I was able to ask for that accommodation to get what I wanted, to be in a better school that would provide me the access that I needed and allow me to be with peers who were like me. Again, none of that was easy. So my message to you is to advocate for yourselves. That's so important. Whether that means requesting an interpreter, requesting extra time on exams, whatever it might be that you need to advocate for, please do so. You already are showing that you have been doing that by working with Disability Access Services Department. Personally, I've seen the benefits of working with that office. Like I said, I graduated from the master's program there at Springfield College, and that was what allowed me to do that. So again, I've talked multiple times about disability. We've talked about pride, advocating for yourself. So what happens when those two worlds come together? That becomes part of your achievement. That's the reason why you're all here today. For me, my achievements are what I give to the world, to the greater good of society. I do have a funny story. In 2016, at the campus union, right across from where I used to work, the office where I was sitting on lunch break, just kind of pondering some things. And there was something that was really bothering me. I just couldn't get it off my mind. I noticed so many of my friends who had graduated with degrees, they're at an undergraduate level, couldn't find jobs. And oftentimes, when they would start working, it would be at a lower paying job, because no one wanted to give them the opportunity to get a job, or it was tough to find a job for them. So at that time, I decided to set up the Facebook page, Deaf and Hard of Hearing Job Seekers Network. I thought maybe it would be for posting job opportunities, sharing information with others. I never, ever imagined that it would grow to over 7,000 members. So 7,000 people are looking for jobs. That's what that tells you, which is just unbelievable when you think about it. And that page, we do post jobs. We give feedback on others' resumes. We share information about how we self-disclose during an interview. There's all of this conversation, and it's become a collective effort on that page. That was my aha moment when I realized that everything that was me, my disability, my advocacy, that had become something that I could then give to and share with the world. So in summary, I want you to all consider your disability. I want you to consider your pride, and I want you to consider what your contribution to this world will be. And as you're inducted to Delta Alpha Pi, this is an international honor society, so consider these things as that's happening today. Congratulations, and thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you, Kellynet, for those remarks. You are the ideal professional to inspire and this cohort of new student members. And today you indeed delivered an inspirational message to all of us.
And one other thing.
Thank you.
Oops.
Go ahead, Camille.
Let me go in. One other thing, Kellynet, throughout your educational journey, you pledged to pursue academic excellence. And in your academic and professional life, you demonstrated distinctive leadership in advancing the rights of individuals with disabilities. Because of your voice and of your deeds, we are going to induct you into the Delta Alpha Pi Honor Society as an honorary member. Had this organization been established when you graduated in 2018, you undoubtedly would have been selected as a member. Your service to Humanics is surely indistinguishable. As an honorary member of this honor society, you will be presented with a personalized certificate that will be in a customized frame. You will have a membership pin and an honor society cord. And we will get this to you within the next week. And we thank you so much for being here today and taking your time out of your day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I feel very honored.
Great. So, oops. So, moving forward. So we are here to induct new members, but we're also here to induct our inaugural officers. We want to recognize them and install them for the 2021 and 2022 school year. These students will assume the leadership role of the Honor Society, and they will help guide the society through the next academic year. So first, we have the president. The president of the Honor Society will preside over the entire Honor Society. The president will preside over meetings of the Executive Council, and the president will work with the Executive Council, which includes the president, the vice president, and the secretary, to survey members' interests and implement programs to accomplish the Honor Society initiatives. So, do you, Teresa Clark, agree to uphold the duties of the president of the Delta Alpha Pi Honor Society, the Zeta Epsilon chapter?
Yes,
Teresa?
I do.
Great.
Thank you for entrusting me as the president of this amazing honor society. About Delta Alpha Pi Honor Society and help reduce the stigma of further education as a student with disabilities. Thank you for staying as we can.
Now we're going to install the vice president. Our vice president should preside over the Honor Society in absence of the president. The vice president will assume the position of president of the Honor Society the following academic year. And the vice president will also work with the Executive Council to move the initiatives of the Honor Society. Do you, James Edward Foley, agree to uphold the duties of the vice president, president-elect of the Delta Alpha Pi Honor Society and the vice president of the Zeta Epsilon chapter?
Yes, I do. It's my pleasure to be able to introduce you all to the Delta Alpha Pi Honor Society. I'm excited to get to know you all and be able to help lay the groundwork for this amazing organization. Thank you.
Next, we're going to install our secretary. Our tech secretary shall coordinate all communication for the general membership, Be responsible for correspondences, both incoming and outgoing for the Honor Society. And she will work with the Executive Council to move forward the initiatives of the Honor Society. Do you, Shana Michelle Goldfarb, agree to uphold the duties of the Secretary for the Delta Alpha Pi Honor Society, the Zeta Epsilon chapter?
Yes, I do. I'm so proud to be on this executive board and help this chapter of DA Pi grow. I can't wait to introduce our chapter to the rest of the Springfield College community and make sure that everyone on our campus is heard and included.
As the chapter advisor of the Zeta Epsilon chapter, we recognize you as duly elected and installed officers of this honor society. And we look forward to working with you to make some great things happen on campus. Congratulations, and let's applaud them. Okay.
So here's the time you've been waiting for and why you're here. We will now induct you all into the Honor Society. First, our chapter advisor will read the names of every eligible student who is here today.
Aaron, can we put up the PowerPoint with the names of our students, starting with the undergrads? Okay, so here are the names of our undergraduate students who will be inducted this afternoon. We have Kylie Nicole Bahuniak. We have Brett Austin Bowling. We have Renee Elizabeth Couts. We have Lily Depew, Madeline Joy Fay, Thomas Robert Fernandez, Emma Ross Gagney, Simon Leo Hauser. We have Gabriella Jeanette Heaney Secord. We have Christopher Donald Jackson. We have Bailey Jean Jeffers, Destiny A. Jones, James Paul LaFord, Emily May McDermott, Julia McGannon, Erin Mascatello, Crystal Osmer, Kalia Sozana Rose. We have Juan Ross Perkins, Jacob Matthew Ryor, Michelle J. Sherwin, Alexander Dalton Simon, Molly Catherine Smith, Alexandra Joseph Talmadge, Caitlin Elizabeth Toppin, Shaylin Whalen, Mackenzie Ryan Waldrick, Jacob Williams, and we have Tiffany K. Yago. Now we'll have our graduate students. We have Jessica Christian Beckford, Jessica Lee Day, Shayna P. Fine, Brianna Aaron Flynn, Laura Rosa Goodell, Isabella Rose Inglis, Bailey Jean Roy, Alyssa Schock, Devontae Marquez Thomas, Catherine Autumn Barvell.
I will ask you to raise your right hand to take the membership oath. You will stay muted because if we do not, it will be chaotic in this format. The oath is posted on the PowerPoint. We will also ask you to take a selfie of yourself while you are taking the oath. Let's all recite the oath in unison. I pledge to continue my pursuit of academic excellence, to demonstrate leadership in advancing the rights of individuals with disabilities, to serve as a role model for other students with disabilities, to advocate for myself and for other individuals with disabilities, and to assist with educational events through my active participation in Delta Alpha Pi Honor Society. Now please take a photo of yourself while you raise your right hand. And congratulations, you are now officially a member of the Zeta Epsilon chapter of Delta Alpha Pi. Please give yourself a round of applause for your accomplishments.
Now, moving forward. I think I lost my place here. Just bear with me for a few minutes. I want to provide you with some chapter updates. The reason why we asked you to take a selfie of yourself so that you can be recognized. We want to submit your selfie for any future chapter publications. So we would like to show this on our website. As a member of Delta Alpha Pi, you will receive a membership certificate and a lapel pin. If you are graduating in May of 2021, you will receive an honor cord. And the next week, if you're on campus, you can pick up your merchandise at our office, or if you prefer, we will mail it to your home to the address that we have on file. If you have a different address where you want us to mail the merchandise, please email me and let me know. Are there any questions? Let me check the chat. Any questions in the chat? No. Okay. Well, this actually will conclude our meeting and our induction ceremony, and Shayna will offer some concluding remarks.
I want to say congratulations to all of the inductees again. For so many years, I hid behind my learning disability, and it wasn't until I learned about DA Pi that I chose to embrace it and make a difference. I'm so honored that I can be a part of this chapter and be able to build it up from the ground with my fellow students. In the words of Albert Einstein, everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it's stupid. I hope as DA Pi, we can give every student the confidence and opportunity to shine.
Okay, well, thank you all for coming. This concludes our program. If you have any questions, please put it in the chat, but we want to congratulate all of you. And thank you for coming, and thank you for being a part of the Delta Alpha Pi Honor Society and the Zeta Epsilon chapter.